Hi, welcome back to the Spirit's Path. This is Dee, and today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck is the Ace of Bows and the Spark of Life. And we just saw this card the other day. So for it to come up twice in a reading, usually for me that emphasizes more new beginnings, right? An eagerness, an enthusiasm around moving forward with this passion that you have, right? Now this rekindles that flame that you had 2 days ago, and it follows the Page of Arrows, who's very curious in giving you that message of how to move forward. And I think that message is pretty loud and clear. All right, start that quest, start that passion that you have, okay? Because it's going to be very fruitful. It's going to be very stable security with the Ace of Stones down here. All right, and the universe has got your back because you got the Great Bear watching it. Now, what I like to do when this card or a card like this doubles within the week is I like to pull out my Tarot Grand Lux deck and get some clarification on this to just give us an idea on where this spark of life is going to take us. Okay. So where is it? Where does the spark of life takes us moving forward? And it's the Hermit card. Okay, so it goes back to the hooded man within the Wildwood Tarot deck. All right, so with that spark of life and the Hermit, what it's asking you to do is to take that passionate thought that you have, okay, that fire, that creativity, and look within. Look within your heart's desire on what it is that you want to accomplish. If you were looking for a relationship, what is it that you're looking for in that relationship to make things whole? Okay, are you looking for that special someone with those special traits? What is your passion towards that person? Is it just companionship, or is it something that says, hey, I want to marry this person, right? You have to look within into your heart, all right, and understand where it is that you want to go, and then kind of breathe life into it, into that lantern. Okay, and just that's the lantern of hope, and just say, I want somebody in my life full time, that I can love, that I can adore, that I can be there for them, and them there for me, and we can grow this family, this, that, and the other thing. Now if you're already in a relationship, you can look at it and say, you know what, I want to deepen it, right? I want to touch the creative spaces of my spouse, right? And just understand what drives them, and how can I make that happen, right? And then you look within you say, you know what, if I start, maybe you read the 5 love languages and find out, what your love language is and what theirs is, and then you just, you start working on establishing that connection. Maybe a little note, or present or something like that, to really to look at it and go, what that's all about. Well, that's sparking that interest, that's sparking that ray of hope, because you've took time to look within to understand them. Now if this is a work setting, okay, it's the Page of Arrows is saying, hey, let's move forward. We gotta continue, be curious about what's going on. And with the question that it's asking, it's similar to the horse. Where do you need to push through? The page is asking you to not really push through, but where is it that you want to go, okay, in that career? And you've got that passion. Maybe you've got that passion for a project to streamline something, and you need to take it to your boss. Well, before you take it to your boss, you need to do some detail work through that Hermit, okay, through looking within and saying to yourself, okay, this is how I want to present it. This is how the project's supposed to go. This is how it's going to save us money. Things of that nature, right? You have to come up with a presentation or some sort of business plan. That way your manager understands it, okay? And he can look at that and say, you know what, that's a great idea. Now, you're not going to go against policy or anything like that, but at the same time, it just could be, hey, if we just do this and we streamline, right, and we put things in a, maybe you're stocking shelves or something like that, and you look at it and say, if we put everything that's like branded together, it'll be easier to bring it down when we need it. And then when we do need it, boom, we got a location that we can go to besides just on the computer. You know, we got a floor plan, right? And you talk about how you can make things more efficient and more easier, you know, and in the long run, that's going to cost, you know, going to save you some money, right? So there's that, you know, it's that passion of moving forward, but it's looking within yourself and looking at, you know, the inwards reflection of how do I really want this to happen. You know, if this is, you know, part of your spiritual walk, it's having that passion of saying, you know what, today I'm going to spread joy. I've got the passion to spread joy to others along the road that I meet, and at the same time, I'm going to listen to their stories, and I'm going to give them that light of hope, and just, you know, give them this smile, make them, you know, feel welcome within this world, and just understand that everybody's path is different. Anything you can do to help their spiritual path helps your spiritual path, because we're all here for the same reason, and that's, you know, to walk hand in hand and do so in love. And when we do so in love and we do so in kindness, you know, and we do so in happiness, there are going to be some people that they'll go, you know, within 5 minutes, not even realize what had happened. But it makes an imprint on you by saying thank you, have a great day, be careful, drive safe. Okay? It gives them that little bit of hope that when they go home, they're like, wow, that was a great message from that guy. And these, you know, and hopefully, you know, everybody that's watching sees that there's great messages here. So, you know, I'm very thankful for all you subscribers, you know, that have shown up and, you know, and watched through, because there's a passion to get that message out, to look within and do so with love, joy, and happiness. So that's today's tarot card of the day out of the Wildwood Tarot deck, that Ace of Bows, the Spark of Life. And clarified by the Hermit card. Okay, so take a look within, enjoy that passion, and look at the message that the Page of Arrows the Wren is giving you, because this Ace of Bows, this Ace of Bows down here twice, it's double emphasis on the creativity and passion. So there you have it, Ace of Bows out of the Wildwood Tarot deck. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, share with others, give me a thumbs up. And this is D for Spirit's Path. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. God bless. And stay safe, everybody.